I guess I better add myself here at the stage, or you guys are going to be solo without me. What's going on? JT here in the studio, and it is another Wednesday afternoon, and Studio 104 is live with the weekly update. Good to be back home and safe. Made it back from this weekend's show in Turlock, California, with the fifth annual Souza Memorial Truck Show down there. Had a good time. A lot of folks for that event over the weekend, which was really compounded by the the truck and tractor pulls that they had both nights. So it really did a big turnout for that. Saturday was just really impacted by that. And you felt it as soon as that event was over. All the people from the truck and tractor pulls came in and hung out with everybody over at the show and shine, and it just packed the place in and took it over, and it was a good time. A lot of fun. April, what's going on? Tim, what's going on? Siebes, yeah, man, good to see you both again this weekend. It's been a while, and Dan in the show. Got caught up with a few folks that were there. Saw a few, didn't get a chance to hook up. Jeff Patello, one of those, walked by a couple times. Like, yeah, I'll catch up. Yep, I'll catch up, but then never caught up. So too much going on, and just wasn't able to make it. So Jeff and I will catch up by phone and make sure we get everything taken care of, which whatever that means, might be just simple and nothing to it. Got a good show for you today. We got Oscar Velasquez waiting in the green room to come in and talk to us. We're going to be talking about the drag racing that goes on in the Class 8 truck world and their version of it, the super drag trucks that they run. And there's different versions, I guess, out there of what goes on the eighth and quarter mile, and this is their version. Kevin, good to have you from Ontario, Canada. Yeah, man, nice to have you on there. And Miss Shannon in the house as well. I think that the show this weekend, I mean, it was the weather was great. First of all, great venue. Can't ask for a better place to have a truck show when you're walking on grass all weekend. You know, you really don't have to go out onto the sidewalks if you don't want. You can stay on the grass all the time, and just very comfortable and cozy. The weather had that warm, give you a hug feel to it, if you know what I mean. And but it was very pleasant and a good time. We had some fun doing the Studio 104 drone Friday and Saturday, both. Took it up daytime and nighttime. So if you guys haven't seen the live streams that we did, go over to our YouTube or our Facebook page and take a look at that. Not to mention all the other live streams that we shot, interviews, walk-arounds, and drive-bys, and I mean, we did it all. So had fun doing all of that. Couldn't ask for better results on some of the live streams. Man, there was one of them is now up to 20,000 views. I mean, that's pretty good numbers. I'm pretty happy with that. I like that. And thank you all for tuning in and watching along with us or coming back to see it. There's I think I was looking at the analytics, and one of the videos adds up in total to like 40 hours of viewing time so far. I mean, that's a lot, you know, for a few minutes of a video, which was, you know, real short, and just a quick kind of drive by showing some of the trucks, starting with the Magini and Son truck, which was parked in our booth, pulling the Trucking for Kids trailer, and then worked my way down that line and show you guys what was going on over there. It was pretty cool. So pretty happy about that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Be sure and check out our group on Facebook, our Instagram page. We definitely have things for you guys to check out over there as well. Not always is everything the same as we post on one. Does it go on the other? Sometimes you get special things on Instagram or TikTok. Definitely on TikTok, a lot of unique content over there. I want you guys to go over there and check that out. Hope to have the store up and running on there for subscriptions. So you just kind of do a one touch for the TikTok store, and you're able to get a subscription to Tim 4 magazine. So you can do that right now by going over to the website. In fact, we're going to go over the website right now because there's a couple of things I want to share with you right now before I bring Oscar in. And let's see, where's it at? So here's something brand new. And first, I want to bring up the website, and what's going on over there. I'm going to talk about is the 10-4 Rodeo, 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show coming up November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I want to make sure you guys are getting registered. If you haven't gotten registered, get on over there and get her done. It's ready for you at the website, and the website, speaking of the website, let's take this guy back down. And there you have it. To do so, for registering on the website, all you have to do is come over here to the Trucker Rodeo tab, click on it, and there you are. Now, the cool thing is I'm going to make it even easier than that for you. Brand new to our streaming platform, QR code, and there you have it. If you scan that QR code right there on your screen, that'll take you to the page that I just showed you, and you can get yourself registered. You'll get one click after you scan that. It'll bring you up URL, click on it, and then it'll take you to the page. Click on it again, and it'll take you to registration, and you can get yourself entered into all the events and fun stuff that you want to do at the Trucker Rodeo. I'll leave that up there while we're having our show for right now, and let's talk about the website for a minute. The website's been updated, and it is ready to go. We have our brand new October 2025 cover feature right there, and I haven't even seen this. You guys are going to cruise right along with me. I haven't done it yet, so and we'll be getting this gentleman on the show shortly. Let's see here. Josh Roberts, there he is. And we'll be talking to him about his truck and the photo shoot and how things got to where we picked him up along the way and welcomed him into the 10-4 cover trucker family. Nice looking rig, by the way. I've enjoyed looking at this thing. And now that I got all these photos to share with you guys, I'll be doing that real soon as well. As well in the website, not only the cover feature, but if you scroll around, you find all the cool other archived and out of the archives and other articles on the website as well. And speaking of archives, if you guys have ever wanted to go down and find an older issue, this is how it works. Select the category. Let's go to cover features. You can scroll like I am and try to just kind of keep going until you find it, or you can go right here and select a month and scroll in here to the month of the year. Let's go to March 19. There you go. Brings it right up. So there's a lot of simple ways to get around. There's others that are a little more cumbersome, but that's the easy path. If you want to go past that and go into articles prior to 2011, I just clicked on it. It's right there in the same spot. Might be moving a little fast for some of you. Here they all are. Truck shows, cover features, and I'll tell you, truck show events are kind of fun to go through because there's a lot of these shows that just aren't around anymore. And when you go in here on some of these, not all of these. Oh, look at that. There's oh man, that was totally random that I picked that show, and there he is in his Flintstones outfit. That's so funny. In some of these shows, when you click on them, it will give you the option to go to more pictures. And this is one of them that does that. Click here to see all the photos. So if you scroll and you think, wow, there's only like a small little handful of photos. No. Click here to see all the photos, and there you go. So there's a ton of pictures in there available for everybody to look at and check out. And these are all from back in the day, again, 2011 and prior. So if you guys have a feeling and the need to go back in time a little bit, that's how you do it. If you have a specific article and time you're looking for, choose the articles or the category that you want to look in. And then after it comes up, then pick the year and month. And there you have it. That's how you navigate around in there. One more thing that's cool about the website, digital edition. And in order to do that, subscribe today. That's a great idea. You should do that no matter what. Anyway, if you get into here and you scroll down, click here to proceed to the free digital edition of 10-4 magazine. There it is. And you get the exact same printed version, but digitally. Can turn the pages and makes the sounds just like, wait a minute, I didn't see that. Oh, look at that. Reflective even. Now, I have not seen those. So that is a new one to me. All right. Interesting. But there you have it. Navigate the magazine, navigate the website, everything in its place and available to you anytime you want to go in there. There you have it. All right. Listen, so truck drags, my first introduction to truck drags, trucking for kids. And I was just blown away. I thought, man, this is the coolest thing ever. Got big trucks, which I like, I own, I operate, and now we got them racing on it. Well, in Irwindale was 8th mile. Famoso, now we got them going a quarter mile, but it'd been going on a long time without me before I came into it. And then all of a sudden there it is in front of me. And not only did I get to just watch it, but I get to share it with you guys and do the Studio 10-4 Live webcast and live streams for you guys. So a lot of fun stuff. But it opened up a whole new world for me to look out there and see what was available in this class and fun style of racing. And man, has it progressed just in a short period of time. And I'm talking from 2017 to now, where we're at. And Mario, yeah, I know, buddy. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Gene in the show. Nice. Pete, what's going on? Dougie, what's happening? Everybody else in there. If I don't call you out, it's because I haven't seen you in there. But I want to bring our guy in right now, Oscar, who not only did he just, get out there and haul ass in his truck, but set a brand new world speed record on the track at the NHRDA finals in Enos, Texas this year. Oscar, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good, John. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, man, no problem. Ooh, look at you even wearing a Mario. Mario came to watch Oscar or see his shirt on Studio 10-4 Live. I think he's here for the shirt.
That's my hermano. That's my brother right there, Mario.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think he's here for both, but it's not hurting his eyes to see you in his shirt. That's for sure. Maybe I should have got mine out, right, and then we both be wearing the Mario shirt. Yeah. Anyway.
We have a little thing. We have a little thing at the track when we're racing. He's wearing my shirt. I'm wearing his shirt. So.
Oh, nice. That's what you know. What that's the pro sports thing to do, man. You trade jerseys. So you do that. That's what you do. You trade jerseys. Congratulations on what you accomplished this year, and I mean, you keep seeming to better yourself, and now the latest is this, and I'm going to bring it up here right now. And that is from a post that you shared. I just put it together and kind of made it happen that way. I'll move my graphics out of the way, but 128.53 mile per hour on September 13th, 2025 at the NHRDA World Finals in Enos, Texas at the Texas Motorplex. So I think, some people are just sort of, they hear these things about drag racing, what it is, how it works, what does all this mean, man? I'll let you be the one to explain it because you're the guy that did it. So tell us, what's it mean? What's the difference between that and elapsed time and all? How does it all work?
So there's two records on Hot Rod Semi Class, and there's an ET record for time, which right now our buddy Fast Dave. We call him Fast Dave. Dave Stewart from Canada with Full Tilt. He has 120, 1120 on a quarter mile. And then there's a mile per hour one, which now we have. He had it also last year. But that's what the class or the hot rod semi class. Those are the both records that we have in the quarter mile mostly for our class. So that's kind of one of the things. But we're always chasing either one or the other, or we're chasing both at the same time.
Both, yeah.
So we're always competing, trying to figure out what can we do to go faster and faster and faster every time. So I mean, we're always chasing to get that record or get fast.
So let's talk about that, because you did say or both. For those of us that are NHRA fans, the same kind of statistical analytics are applied here as in that, and that is in one of the most famous, fastest racers in the world. In fact, she is, and that's Brittany Force. She has the fastest speed on the track, but not elapsed time. So, yet, and here's the thing: in her situation, unfortunately, it hasn't done her any good yet, right? I mean, in fact, she's going to go by way of Leah Pruitt and take some time off and have a kid. So I don't know if that was, anything due to just not getting it done this year, or just decide, you know what, I need to do that. But same kind of deal, right?
It's the same thing, it all depends on, the weather, the track condition, and all of these stuff they have to do. Sometimes you can put all the power down to the ground, sometimes you can't, and you have to work around with the suspension and all this. It's the same constant, same thing, except in a larger scale for us. We're talking about 10,000-pound vehicles that we're trying to make them go as fast as we can. So it all depends on all those variables to make our trucks to go fast. So it's the same thing. Like Brittany Force, she has so many guys out there, helping her out and everything. But the track condition, the weather, all that has to do a lot, with you trying to beat a record or trying to go fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And weather conditions are a huge factor in how these vehicles perform, whether it's yours or hers, any of the ones that are out there competing. Let's talk about specs and the kind of the nuts and bolts part of what it is that these trucks are, because I'm sure a lot of folks just take it for granted that, maybe they see a truck and they're like, yeah, I like trucks, man. And, I get to see them go fast. Yeah, I want to go to the truck drag. Check that out. But not really knowing, what is it that they weigh, and how fast is it, and how long does it take them to go down what length of track? Most of them are 8th mile now, right?
Well, the hot rod semi class for the NHRDA is basically quarter mile. That's what we run, the quarter mile mostly. It takes a lot of R&D and a lot of mechanics and science behind the whole thing to make a truck that big go fast. But usually minimum weight for our trucks is like 9,800 pounds. Some of these trucks are running a 9,800 pounds on there. But, for us, especially on the hot rod semi class, it's not something that we can go to Summit, or we can go to, one of these hot rod shops and say, here, I want this so I can make my engine go fast. No, we have to R&D our own stuff or get help from other people. And for instance, we're running a big cam, for years, people said you can't make a big cam run. The Detroits were beating up on the Cummins guys and all of this stuff. Well, here along, we come around, my dad's always been a Cummins mechanic, and we started building the truck and we started building the engine. And, our good friend from Australia, Steven and Charlie Samet, they go like, man, you guys are actually, kicking butt with that ball. Here, let me help you guys out. They developed a custom cam for us. So that's what we have in our truck now. It's custom injectors, custom cam, heads. The bottom end is actually stock, believe it or not. And our previous engine, we cracked on the 6th journal. We found out that's the weak point on the block now. So we're still R&Ding this last previous race, running against our friend Arnold from Tijuana. we both say, hey, we're going to give a good show. We're going to run as fast as we can. And if we blow up our stuff, we blow up our stuff. Well, guess what happened? We lifted all 3 head gaskets. The engine made about 120 pounds of boost, and we lifted the heads, but we still got the run. But now we're developing where, okay, what can we perfect or make better so we can make more performance? So that's one of the biggest, hardest things for us is you can't go to the store and say, I'm going to buy this. Everything we do from, the angle on the on the pitch on the engine, the transmission's been modified, the rear end we use, the suspension, everything, is modified. And we grab ideas from the racers out there. Those guys are out there racing every weekend. We kind of see, okay, so he's doing that. Can we do that to our truck and see if it helps out? So that's kind of what the development. And like you said, from 2017 and on, these trucks have just been getting faster and faster and faster every year. Our buddy Dave ran a 1090 2 months ago on the quarter mile. It was not heard of a big semi hot rod truck like that even run a 10, and now he's running 10s. So it keeps progressing. It keeps getting better and better. The class keeps getting better, bigger. So that's awesome. It makes it fun.
So elapsed time. You guys are governed by NHRA.
Yes, we are.
The governing entity of NHRDA, which incidentally, if everybody hasn't figured it out, National Hot Rod Diesel Association. By approaching these 10-second times, there might be some things that come into play as to how you guys eventually, and in the very short near future, end up running and being able to do what you do. Tell us about that a little bit.
So, I've gone on the NHRA rule book, and it's so old dated. They still have on their rule book that tire size for the front has to be 1020. That's how old the rules are, and they haven't updated any of the rules. So I between racers, we've talked about it and everything, and of course, I still want to go back to my family after I race. Safety is the priority of each one of us racers in this class. Right. We haven't had any major accidents, thank God, and knock on wood and everything, it doesn't happen, but safety is always a priority on all of us. We try to maintain our trucks as safe as we can and to run the fastest we can. So we've been debating. Mario spoke to me last time that he's going to try to talk to NHRA to see if the rule changes. If anything were to happen, the we'll go top fuel, we'll go 1,000 foot, to make it a little bit safer for us to actually run. We don't want to be a bracket racing class. We want to actually push these vehicles, these trucks to the limit. So I guess there's a new evolution of trucks coming out there. And I guess we're going to have to find the right people to talk to see if the class can change, and we can start running, heads up like we've always done, because that's the whole thing about us. We don't want to be bracket racing. We actually want to be heads up. Because that's the whole fun of it. I was racing, like I told you, for the last race with Arnold. He treated me out the hole. Okay, I caught him up at the 8th mile, and I still see him next to him. Guess what happened? I hit the second kit on him, try to get a little bit faster. I won by like half a second, but that's the fun of it. Once it comes to bracket racing, it's like, okay, we both have to run the same time. And trust me, I'm not trying to badmouth people that do bracket racing. Hey, they do bracket racing. They have it dialed in perfect, But as a hot rod semi class and how we've tucked as racers, we want to continue doing a heads up. We want to continue going faster. And if it's a safety issue, we want to fix that. so we can continue growing the sport and trying to make everybody interested in it. Just this year, we have 2 new racers that built the truck, for the hot rod semi class. And we got 2 other ones. Now we're up to 10 trucks now, so the class keeps growing and growing. So we'll see what happens next year with the whole ordeal of trying to run into the 10 seconds class. It's not if we're going to do it, it's when we start doing it. That's the biggest challenge we're going to have.
I don't see anything out of place or wrong with it. And that is that, look, NHRA did it with the cars. Same deal. They were just going so fast down the quarter mile. They figured, well, let's shorten the track and make it so they can't go that fast. Well, guess what? They're even faster. Okay. So,
yeah,
exactly. I mean, in theory, it made sense, but it is what it is. And it worked out the way that it has so far to this point. I think the opportunity for you guys to get to that as well is probably the next evolution of what you guys are doing out there on the track to make it make sense and make it work. So, as far as safety goes, man, I'll tell you what, NHRA did not start out where they are at today with their cars and the way they build them and the safety steps that they take to put these cars together, given the circumstances of what happens what can happen in a wreck, and all of the different scenarios. I mean, they've learned from all the years of doing what they've been doing. The worst thing I've seen, and I mean, whether a video, picture, or in real life, honestly, and nothing came of it because the guy was prepared, was our buddy Mario at Trucking for Kids, man. This fuel system took a dump on him, and he ended up with a fire on the truck. And after that, look at how he runs now, and all you guys. I mean, everybody's very conscious of what it is they're doing out there and the safety that is involved that needs to be in place so y'all can get back home safely and nobody else around there and spectators or otherwise can get hurt when you guys are running. So I applaud you for you guys doing everything you do the way you do. It works, and it really shows professionalism on your part of taking your sport serious. And I think it really does. It makes a big difference. So it's not the Wild West out here.
No.
Not at all.
It's one of those things where I tell you, it keeps the evolution of it keeps growing and everything. And that's why we go out and test as much as we can to figure out what breaks, what can we make better to first put on a good show. We want the people to actually enjoy seeing these trucks out there running fast. I used to enjoy going to Irwindale before they closed it down. And usually I used to run against cars. And when I would beat them, the crowd would go crazy, and people would enjoy that. So that's kind of one of the things that, we want to bring into the class. We want people to come in, spectators, to show up and have a good show. But if you keep breaking down, your truck keeps spilling and, there's stuff like that, that just doesn't, put our class into that next level. So that's why we keep on trying and bringing the safety and bringing all that, perfecting our recipes on each one of our trucks. Each one of us has a different, we got Caterpillars, Detroits, Cummins, we're all running different classes of engines, but we're all going in that level of fast, so that's what we keep trying to figure it out.
And speaking of Detroit, hey Randy, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you on the show, and good morning to you too. You must be on that swing shifter graveyard thing. The Detroit diesel, the 2-stroke engine, man, that used to be like the thing everybody thought was the engine to have, and there's still some out there running. But when the technology starts coming around like you guys have done, and I'd love to break down some of the things you talked about and why it matters and how it works. I just think we'd probably bore some people to death, but it has to do with lift and duration and the ability of air and fuel to get in and out once it's taken in and mixed with diesel, and the compression happens and it explodes, and then get it out of there so it can go to the next cylinder. That's what a camshaft does. And it's the same on a gas engine too, guys. Same thing. So I would love to break some of that down, but getting that stroke right is everything, because it not only does it's not like an automatic, okay, make a bigger cam lobe, make it wider, higher, all those things, right? It has
Yeah,
to do with that power curve, man. What is that going to be like,
it takes a lot of, like I said, R&D to develop, something that works. Get don't get me wrong, we've done some stuff that are like, okay, this didn't work,
Yeah.
but yeah, mostly what happened, with these old, especially these old big cams, I can't go like with Mario or Dave. They have electronic engines.
Yeah.
These C15 Caterpillar Frankensteins that they've built. They can go on the laptop and push a couple of buttons,
Yeah.
and they can change your church curve and your fuel timing and all of this. With an
Fuel.
old engine,
Yeah.
mechanical, I compare a Cummins or even an old Detroit, like a 350 Chevy or a 454.
Yeah.
You have all these old mechanical engines that, if you find the right cam, the right compression, the right timing, the right fuel, you make horsepower. So it's the same thing with us. We have the custom cam we have. It's like the duration is different, the lift is different. It's all custom.
Yep.
We're basically our injectors. Our injectors, I gotta thank Warren from Prenco Diesel Performance. That guy has, from the beginning, helped us out a lot when it comes to our injectors and fuel pump. It's a custom, injector that you can't go to Cummins and say, here, can you get me this? He
Yeah.
developed a where we're throwing over 1,500 cc's of fuel, per stroke on the engine. We were lucky enough to put our engine on Mario's dyno, and it made 1779 to the wheel on a mechanical big cam, and that was a big achievement for us,
Yeah.
And I told Mario, hey, don't do one more run. It's good right there. It's fine, because we still had to go racing,
Yeah.
But we keep on developing. We're making something, a new recipe. Our goal is to make 2,000 horsepower on all fuel. So we're still working with companies like APC. Robert Calixto, he makes the heads for us. So we're R&Ding these little small stuff in there that we're trying to make the engine go faster. But yes, timing has to do a lot to do with it. The can, with the duration, how many cc's. A lot of people would think black smoke is horsepower on a diesel engine. That is actually just basically fuel you're not burning. That is excessive fuel that is not making horsepower.
Right.
So when we start tuning our truck and we see I'm running down the track, and I got my brother Alfred, he's my crew chief, and he goes like, you know what? We need to change the button on the fuel pump, because you need a little bit more fuel, or we got to back off of it because we got too much fuel, So it all depends on all these variables. We've always had a hard time finding an exhaust manifold for these old Cummins, with a T6 flange in it. And my brother, he's a certified welder and fabricator. Now we're to that point where I think we need to build our own manifold with a T6 flange, because these turbos, we're using small turbos. 98 millimeters is small compared to Mario's 143, 147 he's using. So it's all a combination of everything, to make these trucks go fast.
So the mechanical versus the electronic, I'm glad you brought that up, because and you just said it, the fuel buttons, a lot of the younger guys may not even know what those are, but fuel buttons are, in comparison on an electronic engine, to the fuel what are the fuel numbers that
The
we
fuel
used to
pressure.
the numbers that you would program in through the ECM when you hook up the laptop, the fuel codes, are what give that engine the same thing that the buttons did, and it's figuring out what those buttons are. It was just the buttons are just the physical mechanical way to make it happen. There was no computer back in those days. Now we have the ECMs and the computer driven engine. Mario says he's bringing an S60, so that's a Series 60 Detroit, bringing or building, I'm not sure which, but if he's switching over to Detroit, I'm surprised.
Well, believe it or not, many people don't know this, but Mario was actually a Detroit technician for, I believe, 30 years, 35 years. Okay. So he is a very well knowledge Detroit guy.
Yeah.
Okay. But he knows Caterpillars, you can beat up on them more. They'll last. You can he'll go on that keyboard and he'll tell me, "Hey, amigo, I'm gonna put a tune that I want to beat you with," but he says it in another way. I would try to keep it PG-13 here. But he tells me, "I'm gonna put you the FU tune on it, and I'm gonna try to get you," and that's when we have the best races together. But he's able to do that. We have to do a whole bunch of variables just to get it fast.
So he's building it for Todd. So gotta give Detroit props, man. Listen, you know what? My first 18-wheeler, and I had Class 8 truck before, but it was a dump truck. But my first 18-wheeler was a Detroit 8V92 Silver 92, which was like I'm going to say it was the shit to have, man, back in the day, right? When those things ran, right. Oh boy, were they fun to drive, but
oh yeah. I follow this guy called Krusty Cab, and he has an 8V92 that he has direct injected on there with Duramax injectors on it. He's thinking way out of the box, and trying to make horsepower with these Detroits. And like you said, they dominated the sport of drag racing for a long time, but they're starting to develop more things and stuff and trying to get faster, also trying to catch up.
Yeah. Well, those old Silver 92s or any of those two-stroke Detroits, man, they'd kick your butt out on the flat, but they'd scare, they'd run away from a hill, man. They'd see a hill and just kind of yipe, and run away from you, man.
Yeah. Well, you've seen our motor coach when we go up to Brooks, that thing has an 6V92 in it. Yeah. And the flats, I can run 75, 80 with it. But as soon as I hit a hill, it's like 20 miles per hour up the hill.
Forget about it. There's just no torque. There's no torque. Well, let's talk a little bit about NHRDA. And they're not the only game in town, let's say, but they kind of have been, mainstay of this sport as far as who's putting on events for you guys to compete. Mario has Alberta Diesel Days that he's doing now up in Canada. But NHRDA, man, there's a little change in the air there. Tell me about it.
Yeah, the new owners, we'll see what happens. What new ideas they bring into the sport, and hopefully we get to grow a little bit more. We're thankful with Randy and Stacy. 20 years of giving their lives out there to keep going with the NHRDA. We're thankful for that, and now we're glad that he's semi-retired from it, because he said he's still going to be around. Yep. Around there, but there's a new sheriff in town. We'll see what he brings in. Most of the NHRDA is pickup trucks. A lot of the guys for the pickup trucks, they usually do the events a lot, right. And the semi trucks, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's back there. But we've personally, we've had people go like, wow, I come to see you guys with the big rigs. I don't care about the pickup trucks, so they come around. So
Yeah.
it's one thing that I hopefully they think about it and see. You seen Arizona, that place got packed last year,
Yep.
with Pickett being there and then the racing. Too bad it was too early in the season. Most of these guys are in the Midwest or in Canada, so they can't make it out of there. They're still snowed in, 4 or 5 feet of snow. But we'll see what the NHRA brings in next year. We still want to make it grow. We still want to have fun. We still want to go out there and bring in the spectators so they can enjoy something different. That's the biggest thing. I used to tell people a lot, you can go to the drag race and look at a pickup truck, a car every week, but seeing a big rig in there and going fast, it's like you don't see this every day. So it's one of those things where hopefully this year, coming up 2026, the season, we progress and we get bigger. And I hope the new owners, do the right moves and bring in more spectators. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of spectators when they used to go with Stacy and Randy, but we want to bring in more so we can grow NHRDA as we see.
Yep. Well, from my understanding of it, Randy's going to still be there to pretty much kind of set up everything. He'll be running the house and running the events, and the new owners are going to do their parts of it that Randy used to do and is no longer going to need to do, which is a good thing. It gives Randy a chance to focus on the actual racing specifically and making it happen throughout the event, the weekend that the event's happening, wherever it's at. The new owners, they do their part. But I hopefully, I agree. I hope everything turns out and there's good energy, new energy that progresses the sport and makes it so that it can, kind of grow and become a more dominating, bigger entity in itself. The other thing is, I think if I understand correctly, February is when they're going to be having the event down in Arizona this year. So some changes in timing and things that'll be actually kind of good, I think, for some of us, maybe not for others, like you said, up in Canada that can't get out of there, but hopefully those guys will be able to figure it out and get out there on the road. And also, I think, listen, there's guys out there that got some old rig sitting in the yard and it's just doing nothing with it, man. You ever thought about making a hot rod? I mean, what the hell? That's what your dads probably did with their old Buicks and Chevys and Dodges back in the day, right? Why not their old Peterbilt, Kenworth, or whatever you got? Just make it happen. Ad is crazy. Tell me what that is, Mario. Do you know, Oscar? ADD is crazy.
Yeah.
Attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what Mario says. But anyway, thanks for coming on today and sharing with what's going on and what happened last year. Again, congratulations, world speed record holder for a diesel truck, and in 2026. Now that you've done that, what are you looking to do, man? Are we going to top that, or we got to at least carry it, but we're going to top it? What are you thinking?
We're going to try to go faster. We're still chasing, like I said, we're still chasing the ET record. And like I said, Dave Stewart from Canada, he has it with an automatic. We want to chase it with a manual transmission.
Okay.
I love being inside that truck and able to bang those gears in there and try to go as fast as I can. So we're going to try to chase the ET record, try to get faster. We'll be testing during our off season and trying to figure out some stuff on the truck. We still we're having little issues that we need to fix, but yeah, we're going to try to see if 2026 we get faster and get another record and hopefully another championship.
And name of your truck again?
El Manzano. El Manzano means the apple.
Right on. Well, that truck is a mover, and it's always caught my eye. There's probably some other folks out there that feel the same way about it. Love the fact that Mario's got the beast, man, but El Manzanos keeps tearing it up. So Mario, buddy, got to get her, man. Got to get her in 26. What do you think?
Oh, I know he's bringing it. He's bringing it.
Yeah, he's going to bring it. I know he is. Yeah. All right. Listen, Oscar, you and your family take care. Where are we going to see you next? Are you guys coming down to Bakersfield for us?
Yes, we're going to go to the rodeo. We'll be out there. We'll probably take our old record and see if we can take the race truck up there, to just exhibit it out there and for people to see it out there. But yeah, we'll be out there. And then 2 weeks, we're going to see if we do race wars. They have a test and tune on Saturday in Bakersfield. So we'll go out there and test and tune with our buddy Arnold. And like I said, off season doesn't mean that we stop racing. We just continue racing, keep going and trying to get faster.
I don't know, because I haven't got confirmation if we're doing a burnout contest or not this year at 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show. But I think that Velasquez Brothers machine out in the burnout pit would be a freaking awesome deal, dude. I think you need to make that happen if we got it going on. So
okay, just let me know. We can make that happen.
I'd like to see it. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Take care. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, John.
All right, Oscar. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Oscar Velasquez there, and it's so nice of him to jump in with us today and share everything. A lot of information there, a lot of good stuff, man. I'll tell you, I could jump down into a whole show probably of technological fun. And Mario, we would love to have you out there. And all you guys in the drag trucks, because here's the deal at 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show, we don't have the drag strip. So they have the half mile track, the burnout contest. Who's to say what might happen? I'd love to see it. There's just a ton that could happen out there on the track and the infield and whatnot. I think it would be a lot of fun for you guys to show up and make it fun and exciting. Maybe have a cackle contest, as they call it in the hot rod world. But something, man, something. Mario, call me and let's talk. Oscar, call me. Let's talk. Let's get a conversation going and see if there's something there. And of course, like I said, I don't have confirmation, but I do have our ad, and it does not show a burnout contest on there, but backed by popular demand, maybe there is a chance that could happen. And I don't know, but why not? If the people want it, I'd say make it happen. So again, November 7th, 8th, and 9th in Bakersfield, California at the Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. Love to have you guys out there, whoever you are, especially in the local area. Love to start getting all the locals in and having them show up out there. Really going to start focusing on getting that to happen. But everybody else, we want you out there too. And without you guys, man, it doesn't happen. So let's make it happen and let's have a good time. Want to thank also our sponsors from this last weekend at the Souza Memorial Truck Show. And let's take our deal out here. Cox Transportation, Kenny Cox, EPW, that's Express Pressure Wash. Zephyr Polishes, Custom Polishing Products. Monson and Sons Enterprises. Appreciate you guys. Anybody looking for work out there, want to be a driver for a really nice company, Cox Transportation, Monson and Son. If you don't mind being based out of Montana, and I only mean the company you work for, they'd run Montana to California. That's Cox Transportation. If you want to be based and run out of California, that's Monson and Son. So Kelvin or Kenny, get a hold of those guys and look and see if they've got a spot for you to make yourself a new living or better yourself in a better place, better work environment, better equipment, whatever the case may be. One of those two might be it just for you. So, and again, 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show, coming up November 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's going to be the place you want to be. If you're not there, where the hell are you? And why aren't you? You should be there. So looking forward to it. Also, don't want to skip over. Make sure y'all know about Dixon, and that's Dixon, California, Bobtail Apparel Show coming up in October. And I think that's this weekend of the 17th. Saw Madison at the Souza show, got caught up, and looking forward to being down there for that one. So, all right, everybody, listen, it was a blast. Fun talking. I'm a gearhead. So for me, I could sit here and talk this stuff all day and night, man. I love it. Construction, building things, man. Always been into it, but I am a gearhead at heart. And there's so much of what Oscar had to share with us that we were way up here on. We didn't even dive deep down into it, but it was fun talking to him about it. Also want to say one more thing. There's the QR code, and that is to register for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo. Get yourself in, scan on that. Just take your camera, hold it up to the screen, or capture. If you're on your phone, just capture your screen, and then there you go. You got it. There's the QR code to take you to registration for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show. Get registered, you guys, because these events could fill up. And if they do, I'd hate to think that you wanted to be in one and can't because there's no more room left. RV parking, if you're going to bring RVs, you got to get registered for that. Get your tickets for you and your gang to get in and have a good time. And sponsors, hey, give me a call. Love to talk to you about that and what that means. Sponsorships can include the VIP suites. So those luxury suites are pretty dang fun. So you want to make sure you want to have a great time and really spend some money to up your game. That'd be the way to do it, man. You get tickets in, you get the VIP suite, you're up above there looking down on the track and all the fun going on all weekend. It's a great way to go. All right, everybody, keep the shiny side up. JT out for today. We'll talk to you soon out there. Stay safe, everybody.